So with this global spotlight on disrupting racism in this moment, a lot is being said about the concept of white fragility, which is what I want to talk about in today's video. What is white fragility? White fragility is about the automatic reaction, the defensive reaction that white people have when they learn about their position, their relationship to the structure, to the system that is racism. It is about the surge of emotions, defensiveness, discomfort, sadness, guilt, anger, and more that white people feel when they realize that, wow, I benefit from racism and that I have a role in racism. Now, what often happens when white people experience fragility and this surge of emotions is that it can lead to behaviors like becoming very defensive in a conversation, becoming argumentative, combative, aggressive in a conversation. But what it can also lead white people to do is to literally shut down, so disassociate, disengage, or detach from learning about racism and white supremacy and more. In the end, white fragility ends up reinforcing white supremacy, which is what the problem here is. What do I mean by white supremacy? Well, I've done another video on it. You can check it out at ritubhasin.com or on my YouTube channel. But a few things in particular about the connection between white fragility and white supremacy. The problem is that when white people experience fragility, it shuts down the dialogue, whether it's because of combative behavioral response or because of literally disassociating from learning more about racism. It shuts down the learning that white people need to engage in to interrupt racism and white supremacy. But it also has an impact on BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, and people of color, because we, because of racism and white supremacy, often pussyfoot around white people, hold back in sharing the truth and the reality of our lived experience with racism. And so white fragility is really potent in interrupting progress in racial inclusion. And then the last thing I'll say here, and this will be particularly uncomfortable for people who are white, is that even the ability to experience white fragility is a luxury, a right, a response that white people feel they have or unconsciously have because of the supremacy that they experience in society. Because people of color, we certainly do not have the ability to respond in such a way around our experiences with racism. And so for white people in particular, your takeaway here is to build resilience and understanding and learning about and exploring white supremacy and racism in order to interrupt white fragility. If you want to learn more, check out ritubhasin.com. I have a lot of tools there, and I hope that this message, this video, really helps to build more racial inclusion. Thanks for watching.